Interview.
Hi, my name's Yota Nitsuma, and I'm the producer of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The direction we want to go in for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the fighting system employed in the game is to take the best of both worlds of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom and combine that into just one great game so that players who are familiar with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom can just start playing and have no problems getting into the action of the game. When talking about fighting games, you do need to have the basics, online play, versus mode, things like that. And of course, with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, we want to implement a network play where people can fight each other online. I mean, that is an obvious goal for this title. And we're actually working on a few other elements to make it more robust and to round it out. And you'll hear more about them in the future. With Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there were, of course, popular characters in the game and then characters that most people didn't know about. And yes, there is kind of a logic in selecting those characters because it's a fighting game, so your goal is to have balance. So yeah, we wanted to have the popular characters, but in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, a third to half of the characters were characters you hadn't seen in one of the previous fighting games. So there were a lot of characters people were just like, yeah, why? Why would you put this guy in there? But they kind of became a hot topic amongst players, like, hey, this guy's kind of cool, didn't know him, like using him, and so we like to see that reaction from the players. So with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the same type of logic works in choosing the characters that we decide to ultimately put in the game. You could say Tatsunoko influenced Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but it also was being developed at the same time as Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. So they were kind of separate lines of development. They were both versus series games, so in that sense they played off each other. But the fact is, Tatsunoko's influence is the anime, the original anime, the Tatsunoko production anime, and Marvel Comics is, of course, the comics that characters come from. So with Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, we wanted to make sure we could get the Tatsunoko characters as close as to their animation counterparts as possible. And for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, our goal is to mimic what you see in the Marvel Comics, but make that move and come to life. We're looking at the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Those are our target platforms for this multi-platform release. And you know, this is a really big title. A lot of fans have been expecting this for a long time. And so, yeah, there is a certain degree of pressure, and I feel it, especially now that I've just finally opened up the can of worms and made the announcement. I'm sure with each successive announcement, there's going to be more pressure from the fans, more of them clamoring for this and that, and I know I'm going to start feeling that. I just hope I don't pass out in the middle of production. We're looking at spring 2011 to get it into your hands, and from here on out until that day, we've got a lot more information coming to you.